So hello, I'm Ladeji-Osias. I'm an associate professor at Morgan State University. I am also the principal investigator for the Verizon Minority Mail Maker program. This is a new program that we've started at Morgan State University. It is sponsored by the Verizon Foundation. The goal of the Verizon Mail Maker program, directed by Morgan State University, is to introduce middle school boys and their teachers to the philosophy of making through 3D printing, software development, and other engineering activities. First, I'll start by giving you a brief history of how the program originated. So in late 2014, the Verizon Foundation was in contact with Morgan about the idea to put on a program for middle school boys. After talking over the program for some time, we decided to put together a proposal that would allow the students to learn about 3D modeling, development of mobile applications in the context of entrepreneurship, so that the students will come away with knowing about these as science tools, as well as how to generate income and how to become entrepreneurs from these different technologies. So what does the program look like? We have two aspects of the program. The first is with the middle school boys who are rising sixth graders through ninth graders. For these students, we have a 2-year program. It encompasses 4 weeks in the summer, and we have Saturday activities during the academic year. For the teachers of these in Baltimore City, we have a 1-week summer program and Saturday activities as well. And for all the participants, our goal is to introduce them to 3D modeling. In the 3D modeling, they learn how to manipulate objects in 3-dimensional space, design them, and print them out. And so the students learn how to use 3D printers in order to be able to make the objects they design a reality. We have teachers who are introduced to similar technologies, and the teachers are able to take these skills that they learn and develop lessons for their students. And so they do this through lesson plans that encompass multiple disciplines. For example, a math teacher might work with a science teacher to design lessons that meet objectives in both courses. In addition to learning about 3D modeling, the students are also exposed to mobile app development. This involves designing applications for their mobile phones or tablets on the computer and downloading them to work on these devices. So the students start off with simple programs like adding a picture and making a cat. Make the cat make noises when you tap the image of the cat. In addition to a skill building phase, we wanted to make sure students are allowed to be creative. So we designed a motto for the program. The motto for the program is making equals creativity plus learning plus fun squared. Our goal is to make sure that the participants understand that for us, engineering is fun and it involves a lot of creativity. So in addition to the lessons that they learn during the program, they're given wide latitude to develop programs or objects of their own design. And what we found is that in allowing students this creativity, students are able to put together things that are way more complex than we had originally imagined. For example, after learning how to combine 3D objects in order to be able to make things, students are making designs of games that they play with, logos for TV shows that they watch, and characters from games that they play. And some of these take them days, even weeks to put together. And the students do this with excitement because they view this as creative and fun. Our first summer for this program was in 2015. And for 4 weeks of this summer, we had almost 40 children that were with us every day. And during this time, the students were able to engage in many activities in addition to what was mentioned earlier. The students were able to meet technology entrepreneurs. Some of them came in from as far away as Washington, D.C. Rephrase that. Others, the students met through video conference from places as far as Massachusetts. And the students were able to meet these entrepreneurs or the designers of innovative software to be able to understand what they do and how they bring their products to market. At the end of the program, we had a challenge for the students. In 6 groups, work together and design a mobile app and a 3D model that supports your app in some way, and show us what you can do. And use it to solve a problem in the community around education, sustainability, or healthcare. We were surprised by what the students were able to come up with. Many of the students were very excited about this opportunity and dove right in, coming up with multiple ideas. Students were able to develop applications that allowed their peers to find resources when they were struggling in school. Students developed businesses for bicycle delivery in their neighborhood of food to people who weren't able to get to leave their homes. So at the end of the day, we had a presentation to the parents who were extremely excited to see the work that their children were able to undertake. Given that this was the first program of its kind we had at Morgan, we weren't sure what to expect. We were very surprised by the enthusiasm the students exhibited. Many times, students are exposed to science and technology, and we know that it excites them, but we underestimate the lengths that students are willing to go through to participate in STEM programs. For example, we had students who arrived more than an hour early to the camp or to the summer program because they were so excited about getting on with the activities. Other students went home and continued to do the things that we were doing in class. We made an intentional decision that all the resources that we used would be web-based so that if students were excited, they could continue with doing things even when we were no longer here. The other thing that surprised us about the program was how well the students worked with the mentors we had chosen to work with them. So we had selected undergraduate engineers and mathematicians who were excited about what they did and were also excited about introducing others. The mentors were in our undergraduate students, so they were in their early 20s, and they worked very well with the students. The mentors designed a program for them that introduced them to inventors that looked like them, both as African American inventors, Hispanic inventors, as well as inventors that were current or alive, and inventors that were that were no longer alive, so historical inventors. And every day they had someone present a new inventor to them. And the students were very excited about the things that they learned, not just about the inventors, but the fact that they were working with undergraduate students who are also engineers. Why do I think the team was able to achieve such great success? Because we worked together as a team in the design of the project. And so, as a principal investigator, I had worked with a team of people to design the initial program and put together different elements. Each person brought some expertise, and we put together different elements of the program. Naturally, when you design a program, the program always looks very different on paper than it does when you implement it. And so the teachers who helped design the program were also making adjustments day to day to be able to accommodate what was happening. The program director, Ms. LaDawn Partlow, was also making adjustments. Same thing happened with our teacher workshop. During the teacher workshop, we had to make some minor adjustments as things came up. And so I think having a team made this a very successful venture, and I think it underscores the importance of engineering, which is a highly team-driven experience, and it requires a strong team with multiple perspectives in order to be successful. And this is one of the critical aspects of the Verizon Minority Male Maker program. As we look out into the world of engineering, many of the teams are very homogeneous. They either have members who are of single gender, primarily male, or they have members who have very limited ethnic representation. And so one of our goals is to develop a program that will excite a cadre of young men who have not traditionally been represented in the field of science and engineering. And so as part of our experience, we not only designed activities that were traditional in terms of showing them how to do 3D modeling, but we also designed things that would give them a unique experience, improve their self-efficacy by exposing them to other people who look like them, who have backgrounds similar to theirs, and who would be able to encourage them to be able to become scientists or engineers. In designing a program like this, one of the things that happens is not everything goes as you expect on paper. One of the things that we had not anticipated was actually the amount of time it takes to gather together 40 boys and move them from place to place. While this sounds like a small thing, it turned out to be something that sometimes would take longer than we anticipated in terms of getting from place to place, getting people to end a task for which they're very excited and move on to a new task, regardless of how excited they are about the new task. One of the other things that we didn't anticipate was the amount of recreation we needed to build into our program. And young men move around quite a bit, and we needed to have additional time for them to move around. And this is one of the changes we'll be making in future programs. In terms of assessing the program, we started off with the idea that this summer would be a pilot. And because this summer was a pilot, we gave ourselves the flexibility of having several people come in to take a look at what we were doing and make sure we were doing it at the best level. So we have external evaluators for the project. In addition to designing the surveys that the students took at the beginning and at the end of the summer program, they also came in 3 times during the summer, took a look around, sat in on some classes, talked to some of the staff and the mentors, and gave us feedback about what was happening in the classroom and how to improve what we were doing. At the start of the program, we had a former middle school teacher come in to talk to the mentors. She was able to talk with them about what it was like to teach middle school students. She also talked to them about what it was like to teach middle school boys specifically. They also received some training from the National CARES Mentoring Program on how to work with minority communities. So in terms of the mentors came in ready to work with middle schoolers, even those who had never worked in that capacity before. By the end of the program, we had received 3 written evaluations of the program in terms of what the teachers were doing in the classroom, how the mentors were interacting with the students, as well as evaluations of other processes and procedures that we had in place. This allowed us to have extra eyes looking at the program and allowed us to provide a quality program for the students who participated. So as mentioned previously, we had someone come in who trained the mentors on how to work with the students. We also had mentors spend 2 weeks before the program started learning how to use the software tools and any other games that the students would be using. This ended up working very well because the mentors were able to step right in when the students ran into any problems. One of the things that we didn't anticipate was the need to train the instructors on working with the middle school boys. Our instructors were college faculty, and many of these faculty members are used to working with much older student population. And so in future iterations, we will definitely have training for all who will be working with the middle school students to ensure that they understand the different environment in which they would be working. In addition to having some external people come in and look at the program, in order to improve the program, we've also solicited feedback from the mentors, the faculty who have taught the boys, as well as the facilitators for the program for the teacher workshop. And so we've asked what things worked from their perspective and areas of future improvement. We're particularly interested in this feedback because these are people who were working directly with our participants, both teachers and our boys. In addition, we also value the perspective of the teachers in terms of the workshop, and we've also solicited their feedback in terms of what aspects worked, how we can continue to build on our Saturday programs and other activities in the future. In terms of assessing the boys who participated in the program, the external evaluator designed a survey that looks at how their skill level in 3D modeling, app development, entrepreneurship on the first day of the program in comparison to the last day of the program. Additionally, questions were asked about their potential to participate in activities like this in the future and to independently undertake these activities. So in the future, we're going to have programs on Saturdays, and students who participated in the summer program will be invited to come back, and they will have the priority in terms of enrolling in the program. And then the program will be opened up to other students in 10 schools around the city. These schools are schools that fall within what is called the Morgan Community Mile, which is a 3 to 5 mile radius around Morgan State University that we're interested in developing partnerships with. And so this will allow any activities to be within commuting distance for these students. And so some of the students in the summer program walked to the university, others took a bus and had a short bus ride to the university. When we designed this program to be a partnership between Morgan State University and Baltimore City Schools. And so when we selected our first set of students for the summer program, the students were sent to us as a referral from either the principal or another staff member at their school. And so as we pick our the participants in our Saturday programs, we will continue to use our schools to be able to solicit students who would be a good match, and we'll also invite students who self-advocate. In addition, in the summer of 2016, we'll be inviting students who have participated in the past. They'll be invited to apply once again to participate. In addition, we'll have openings for new students to become part of the program. As part of this program, Verizon funded 2 years for the activities that I have described. And in the future, our goal is to continue to track these students. In the short term, we'll be tracking things like student attendance and student participation in other STEM activities. For example, a student who was in this program has already contacted me the week after the program ended to find out how they could continue to build on their skills that they've learned from the program. And so we're expecting that many of the students will continue to seek other STEM activities, and we'll encourage that. And we'll be working on developing a mechanism to continue to track these students as they go through the school system. And this is the importance of working with Baltimore City Public Schools as we developed the program. In the future, we're looking at different opportunities to maintain contact with the students through things like social media, as well as contact with the principals by getting feedback on their perspective on the value of programs such as these in the communities in which we serve.